morning, and thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sport Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering the Super Bowl, and then depending on how the show goes, we'll dive into ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers teaming up for a new streaming service. Then maybe eco-activists who glued themselves to a car showroom floor. And make sure you stick around for later in the show. We'll be diving into the oddities of the day. Before we start, I'd like to ask that you like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Good morning / afternoon, Tate. How are you?
Hello, Miss Faith. The
Hello.
first thing Faith said, Faith and I haven't really talked this morning at all, because we want to talk about the game and everything while on air. But the first thing she said to me is, "You're bald." So I had to explain, so I'll explain to the audience. I am the weird guy that does not shave at all. Never have shaved. I've tried a couple of times, but I just have never been a guy that really shaves or grows a lot of facial hair. So what you saw last week was like 3 weeks of stubble. It literally takes me about 3 weeks to a month to grow that much hair. So about every 3 weeks or once a month, I just cut everything off, and I'm good to go for a few weeks. So, so you'll see different phases between this and what was on Friday throughout this whole show. All right, my girl Faith, talk to me.
I'm tired. For one, I'm tired. I stayed up to watch the Super Bowl, and it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I don't care who wins. I just wish someone will score so I can go to bed.
So you were that tired then?
Yes. I mean, I saw that it was overtime, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then at one point, I thought it was going to go into double overtime, and I was like, somebody just please score.
Wow, that is hilarious. It was a great game. Okay, you were talking about your side where you were watching the game and you were tired and exhausted. I missed the game.
You missed it?
Yes, I did.
You missed the biggest event.
Okay, let me explain how I missed the game. This sounds absolutely nuts, right?
Yeah.
So, we always end up bringing up the fact that I live in Europe. Okay, so I timed it out, and I had it set for 7 o'clock Pacific time, I was thinking the game was, which would be 2 a.m. my time. So when I woke up at 3, I figured everything about 3 a.m., the game was over because I timed it wrong. The game started at midnight. So I turned it on, and it was like the Chiefs are champions. I was like, what? So I did not have the drama and the build-up, so I could actually watch it more of a breakdown of the show. So this morning, I've watched the game twice. So look at the look on Faith's face, like, what? Did you just say you watched it twice?
I can't believe you missed it, first of all.
I slept through that bad boy. Well, I just had it time wrong. I had it in my head. It was 3 a.m. I was going to watch it at 3 a.m. It was actually midnight is when the game started. Yeah. But I still watched the game twice. I still got to see Usher, the halftime. All right, before we dive into the game, you have to tell me, did you watch Usher?
I watched Usher.
SpongeBob.
I watched Usher, and what I'm going to do today sometime is I will find the SpongeBob halftime show, and I will watch that as well.
Shut up. Are
I'm
you
gonna see
really
both.
going to
Yes.
find
Yes. I am.
SpongeBob?
Yes, I'm going to watch the SpongeBob halftime. I will find it.
Wow, that is crazy to me. I
I
am not
don't
seeking out SpongeBob SquarePants halftime show.
I don't regret my choice though, because I got to see Usher take his shirt off and I was happy about that.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Whew. Okay.
Okay. Wait. We just haven't. Oh, you were frozen.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. It's raining here, so my internet is probably affected by that.
That's awesome. I just kept on talking. I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
Sorry, guys.
On my side, Faith was just a frozen face. Okay. So, okay, let's dive into the game.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to Usher taking his shirt off. So in a second here.
Okay.
Give me your break the game down. Give me your thoughts of the game.
Oh, I think I feel like I'm gonna upset people when I say this, but I found this game to be very boring to watch, honestly.
Okay, keep on.
It was just, I mean, neither of the teams really played how I expected they were going to play, and I was just not impressed with the Kansas City Chiefs game at all. Not at all. And honestly, I was a little surprised that the 49ers had a lead for majority of the game. I was honestly shocked by that. And then it went into overtime, and then I really honestly thought that the 49ers were going to have it after like third quarter, and then they went into overtime, and then the Chiefs ended up pulling it together anyway. So, but I don't know.
I love hearing this through more of a casual fan, you know, than the hardcore fan, which kind of we separate kind of a little bit that way. So keep on. So what were you saying?
I don't know. I just, you know, for a Super Bowl game, I wasn't very impressed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. You know, there were two parts to this game. The first part was the first half and the first few minutes of the third quarter. I thought both teams were very sloppy, made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. That
first half, it showed San Francisco had the better players. And so they really came out, and I thought they were taking it to Kansas City. Kansas City was making mistakes, something I was not expecting them to make mistakes. But this game totally came down to, I thought, the second half, I thought Andy Reid really righted the ship and started calling plays more toward his playmakers. I thought the defense really cracked down. And if you've watched football long enough, it comes down, the game, these two teams, the reason why it was a boring game was because both defenses played incredibly well. Both coaches coached their tails off. Both of them, like both quarterbacks, did amazing. Everyone did what they were supposed to do. But the thing that separates a great team from an average team is, one, who makes the mistakes, okay, and how do they capitalize on those mistakes. Both teams made mistakes, but the 49ers did not punish Kansas City for making the mistakes. Not at all. When Patrick Mahomes threw that interception, that was the first interception he had in the last two postseasons. That was the first interceptions in 2 years for him. And they got 0 points out of it. The one fumble, they got 0 points out of it. They did not capitalize. When the 49ers made mistakes, Kansas City at least got 3 points out of it. And that was the big difference. And then the big play, the fact that the Kansas City was able to get a field goal at one point off of 49ers mistake, and then blocking that extra point. Extra points are just money in the bank.
Yeah.
And if they make that extra point, if the 49ers make that extra point, then most likely they win the game, because Kansas City doesn't have to go down there and kick a field goal to tie things up. No, they have to score a touchdown, either win or you're dead.
Yeah.
But these little mistakes or execution when they blocked the extra point was the difference in the game. And then Patrick Mahomes was unreal. I thought Brock Purdy did a really good job. A couple of times they really shook him up a little bit, but Brock Purdy was stellar. But there are moments in this game. There are 3 MVP moments in the game. In the first half, at the end, where there's very little time left in the first half, and Patrick Mahomes drives down the field for a score. At the very end, they needed that last drive to take it into overtime, and they did it. And then the most incredible part of it all, when you're in overtime, the fact is, first, Shanahan accepted the ball. Normally you kick the ball off and you want the ball next. But I think Shanahan was thinking, we didn't want to come from behind. We didn't want them to go down the field and score and then put all the pressure on Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. And so I agreed with his decision to take the ball. They went down the field. The 49ers went down the field. They were able, the defense, most of the game, the Kansas City's defense would bend but never break. Mm-hmm. And so they went down the field. They kicked the field goal. They had the lead. If it wasn't for the new rule, the game would have been over and the 49ers won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But this new rule came into play. So they kicked it. Now you have Patrick Mahomes. And I said this, Patrick Mahomes doesn't make mistakes. Patrick Mahomes rises to the occasion. And so I thought, it's over. The minute Kansas City had that ball and they started driving. And at one point, it's 4th down. And Patrick Mahomes runs for that first down. I mean, the guy can do it all. Mm-hmm. He drove down the field and then they scored a touchdown. It was pretty much when Kansas City needed something, they were like, okay, Patrick Mahomes, we need a field goal. You got it. We need a touchdown. No problem. You got it. That's what separates the all-time greats from the incredibly good. And I kind of felt like Brock Purdy was the incredibly good. Like, he was a really good quarterback this game. Can't no one say anything about Brock Purdy. Can't anyone say anything about Shanahan. They did their job to the best of their ability. Can't anyone say anything about that defense. The fact of the matter is, one side had Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and that was the difference. In my eyes, it really showed. Patrick Mahomes, if the players were covered, he ran. Mm-hmm. They were Andy Reid was calling the perfect game as they were driving down the field, and that Patrick Mahomes was executing. And in the end, I thought it was a thing of beauty how they went down the field. I went back and watched the game again because I wanted to make sure I looked at the game kind of through, I didn't want any biases toward Patrick Mahomes. And it was just like every time Patrick Mahomes' back was up against the wall, he really came through. So do you agree on that?
No, I do. And uh, I feel like Brock Purdy, I was very impressed with him this game.
Absolutely.
They did a lot better than they did the past two games, and that's like why I said I was honestly kind of surprised of how the game went in the first half, just because of how the 49ers played with the Lions and the Packers and how they just kind of let things happen up until, the second half of the game, and then they would come back and retrieve the points that they had missed. So I really thought it was going to be Kansas City Chiefs were just going to destroy them in the first half. I thought that's what was going to happen, and then that's not what happened. It seemed like
It was really the opposite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The thing was, here's the crazy thing, though. They didn't capitalize. The 49ers, that first half was clearly the better team. They were the more talented team. They were the most prepared team, in my opinion. But they did not capitalize. They did not get the points that they should have had. This could have been a much larger lead that they had. They blew it. I mean, in many ways, it wasn't that they blew it. It was more that Kansas City defense kept bending but not breaking, giving up a field goal here, a field goal there. It wasn't like think about it. In that first half, the only way the 49ers scored was on a trick play. That was it. The defense kept bending but not breaking, bending but not breaking. And in that play, you just weren't prepared for. You don't expect your wide receiver to throw a touchdown. And Jennings did a great job, but with exception of a trick play, the defense controlled and was like, okay, we just have to hold serve, get into halftime. Andy Reid kind of it was like they calmed their nerves down because there was jitters. I felt like more on Kansas City's side where they were making the major mistakes.
Did you see Travis Kelce
yes.
screaming at Andy Reid? I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay, that could have been a horrible situation. That could have been okay. Andy, and listen, I'm going to give Andy Reid credit again because this could be a disaster. This could be a disaster. Number one, when Kelce came running over, if you played any major sports at this level, you're fired up. You run over and you're like, don't take me out of the game. You run over. But this is old man Andy Reid, and you caught him off guard. He's looking at the sheet and everything. And so he runs over and he bumps him as he's yelling. And Andy Reid stumbles. He drops the clipboard. Then the other guy comes in and pulls him off like he's trying to attack him. And that looked bad. Yeah. Did it not look bad?
Yeah.
Dude, you can't be beating Andy Reid down.
What was funny with that, there was an interview after the game, and when somebody asked him about it, and Travis Kelce just said, "I was just telling him that I loved him."
See, because old sleep dog over here, I'm over here with visions of sugar plums in my head on my pillow, and I'm sleeping through all this. I didn't see that, but I did see how Andy Reid just kind of made a joke of it, he don't have the balance like he used to, and just kind of blew it off.
Yeah.
Because let's say Andy Reid just a little bit more and he falls. Let's say he takes it a different way.
Could have ended
that would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that would have been a disaster. And even if they won, it could have been really bad. But Andy Reid, there's a thing where if you've played sports, there's that coach that always has his pride and his ego and it's always on his shoulder. And it's kind of like, you don't show me up. And there's coaches that would have made that a bad thing.
Yeah.
Andy Reid just swept that under the rug, like, oh, nothing to see here, just a mere bag of shells. And the media would have eaten that alive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They would have eaten that alive, especially Andy Reid. It's the Super Bowl, Travis Kelce, who's dating Taylor Swift, all of that. It could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't. That's the thing with Andy Reid. He's that consummate professional. And you can tell these guys, he gives them the room to be fiery and be themselves without the worry.
Yeah.
And so I thought they did a really great job. I thought during the game, Andy Reid had things under control. And then during the situation that could have been bad, he totally diffused it like no big deal.
Yeah.
I don't mean to tell you when to go on break. I was going to say, we're going to go on break.
Yeah, we're going to take
a break. And then we're going to look at some other things. Talk about the halftime, these teams and how they're going to, what this Super Bowl means, all of that. I didn't mean to just take your job. I totally took your job from you on that one. You're looking at me like, listen, sucker, this is my gig.
I decide when we go on break.
don't you dare. You're talking about Kelce knocking somebody over. I'm waiting on you to knock me over. Like, this is my stuff.
All right, guys. Well, when we come back, we'll dive more into the Super Bowl, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll see you in a little bit.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are still continuing our chat over the Super Bowl 58, but before we dive back into it, I just wanted to remind you that if you guys are enjoying the show, want to send us a comment, you can do that at the tips and donation link, which is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Just put your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Alrighty.
Okay. I was busy. I was busy trying to find my notes, and I'm like, oh crap, they're not on my phone. So I was scrambling, looking over here. So normally I'll send Faith a little message or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, oh no, I'm looking for like, where the heck are my notes? Yes. But okay. When you look at like Patrick Mahomes was a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the things that they accomplished. All right. The first team since 2003, 03 and 04 to win back-to-back Super Bowls. That was the Patriots the last time. So there hasn't been back-to-back champions in 20 years. Patrick Mahomes, his third Super Bowl MVP in 4 seasons, never been done. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he lit it up. I mean, he really did. He had a great game, 34 for 46 for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, and his first postseason interception in 2 years. 2 years. That's how flawless he is. Now, in that 2 years, they lost maybe the best receiver in the game. They lost to Cheetah and still came out of here with 2 Super Bowls, losing maybe your most dynamic player and going back-to-back Super Bowls. That doesn't happen. You do not lose your one of your 2 Hall of Fame playmakers and say, "Oh, no big deal. We'll just run back-to-back Super Bowls." Patrick Mahomes, one of 5 quarterbacks with 3 or more Super Bowls. This dude is only 28 years old.
Yeah.
You get this? This isn't a guy who's in the twilight of his career and he like John Elway and he got his last Super Bowl or something like that. This dude's at the beginning of his career. He still has a decade plus to play. So Troy Aikman now has 3 Super Bowls. Matter of fact, Troy Aikman and Patrick Mahomes are the only 2 quarterbacks that were able by the age of 28 to have 3 Super Bowls. Terry Bradshaw, just one of the original greats of all time. As a kid growing up, Bradshaw broke my heart a lot of times because it was always those Steelers and those Cowboys teams. And he took a couple of Super Bowls from my Cowboys. Joe Cool, Joe Montana, the great San Francisco 49er. And then, Bradshaw and Montana both have 4 Super Bowl championships. And then there's Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than than every team in the NFL. Tom Brady has won more Super Bowls than the Cowboys, the 49ers, everybody else. So that was crazy. Just going down some of my other notes. Like I said, he's only 28. He has 3 Super Bowl wins, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. He's one of the few quarterbacks in history with a 50 touchdown season. I think he has 2 regular season Super Bowls. Consistently, he's been one of the biggest passers in NFL history with multiple 4,000 and 5,000 passing yard seasons. I think he has 2 5,000 passing yard seasons. He's just unreal. 15-3 in the postseason. Man, the guy just does it all. This is he's 28, and I have him for greatest quarterbacks in the history of a game. After this win, it sounds crazy, but Brady, who had the greatest career, greatest quarterback, I now have Patrick Mahomes at number 2, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, and then Joe Montana. That's my Mount Rushmore, or my quarterback, greatness room. That's a lot. At 28.
At 28, yeah, that is very, very impressive. And that he's gone, that they just won back-to-back Super Bowls. That hasn't been done in 30 years?
20 years. It's been 20 years since that's happened. Yes.
Yeah. So, and he did it at the ripe age of 28. He's only a few years older than me, and he's doing a lot more than I am.
And you know what? And it's kind of like, Faith, what the heck are you doing, you slacker?
I know, right?
It's kind of like, what have you been doing with your life? And then you roll around and look at a poor little me over here, and it's like, oh hell, it's a wrap for me if you're putting it on the Patrick Mahomes scale. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to some of the fun stuff.
Okay.
I was convinced
I told you
that Taylor Swift was going to come out there.
I told you it wasn't going to happen.
But I'm okay, because if you cannot have Taylor Swift come out of stage, my man Ludacris came out. Once I saw Luda,
like,
it was all good.
Yes.
It was like once Luda came out, it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the halftime show. Was it just all people from Atlanta? Was that kind of the way the theme was?
I
that was me putting that together
so.
because it was like Atlanta guy, Atlanta guy, Atlanta guy, Atlanta guy. It was like like he was paying homage to the Atlanta music scene because I thought everybody that came out were from Atlanta.
I don't know. Let me see where Alicia Keys is from. Because Alicia Keys, my girl, Alicia Keys.
Okay.
She looked so good, too.
Actually, she did.
She looked fabulous.
I'm going to keep it real. I have not noticed Alicia Keys, I was going to say until last night, until this morning when I was watching, because, I was watching it this morning. And then I was like, ooh, I've been listening to her music too much and not noticing
She's gorgeous.
Alicia Keys. Yes. Yeah.
So Alicia Keys is from New York, so not everybody.
So it wasn't all okay. Yeah. Because I was thinking it was like everybody was from Atlanta. So Alicia Keys was not from, okay, then that helped me out there because I was kind of curious about that. Okay. Who was the woman on the guitar?
Her, H-E-R. I don't know if it's H-E-R or if it's her. I didn't know who it was.
Okay. I was like, who is her?
Her. That girl. Her.
Yes. Her. That girl.
That girl.
I was like, okay, I'm a little out of it because I don't know who the heck is.
I didn't know who it was either. I'll see.
Okay. I feel a little better because I was like, man, Faith is going to show me up on this show because I have no clue who her is.
I don't, but also my music taste is a little heavier than a lot of other people, so I normally don't listen to R&B and hip hop.
What does heavier mean? I'm a little curious on that one now.
I listen to metal music, so.
Oh, I did not see that coming. I did not. Faith, I cannot. That throws me for a loop there. Did not see that coming.
I'm like headbanging in my car when I go anywhere.
See, I'm a situation listener.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, I mean I like all
in my car.
Music, but
no, I like all music, different types of music as well. But like, if I'm in my car, I want either like hardcore hip hop. Or a little like something like what you say more rock or a little something with a driving beat, or I'm gonna do an audio book, which is like what? They don't even match. Like a heavier metal or hardcore hip hop or an audio book. If I'm but if I'm at home just chilling, then I like something a little bit more easier, like I don't know. I mean, just not I'm going to go more, let's say, Beyonce, more like just cool listening, chilling music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends on my mood and what I'm doing. And I change it up. I can listen, from Usher to NWA, to Luda, to, Metallica, Nirvana, to Rage Against the Machine. I listen to everything. Yeah. So that's kind of me. But we totally got a little sidetracked on that one. But what did you think? Okay, what are you going to say?
The halftime show was really, really good. I was hoping, along with a bunch of other people, that Justin Bieber was going to be one of the guest appearances, because
why? That makes no sense to me. Okay, please elaborate.
Way back in the day, I was a big big Justin Bieber fan. Like in my when I was a teenager, I loved Justin Bieber. I had posters all over my room. You couldn't even see the color of my wall. That's how many Justin Bieber posters I had in my room. But
and there was one little poster of SpongeBob in there too somewhere. Sorry.
The Usher and Justin Bieber are like, I don't know if they still are, but like back in the day, they were like best friends. Usher like helped him launch his career and everything like that. And they have a song together. And so I was really hoping, I was like, Justin Bieber and Usher doing Somebody to Love would have made it perfect, but it was a very good show.
I like that. Here was my thing. And the reason why I had Taylor Swift in there. I saw where it was an Usher concert and Taylor Swift came out and she sang a song with Usher. And I was like, wow, Usher's very R&B type music. And I thought, since it's the Super Bowl, it needed to cross a few different genres. So I was expecting the hip hop flavor to it.
Yeah.
And then I was expecting the R&B flavor. But I was picturing it being more of the Taylor Swift or for the pop flavor. But Justin Bieber makes just as much sense as Taylor Swift did for me on that one. That was the one thing that I thought it was missing. I think if he'd have rolled out there with a Taylor Swift or a Justin Bieber, I think that would have been nice because it would have covered multiple genres and multiple people in that audience. And that's what I was looking for. The Little John, the Southern with the hip hop, and then that. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Can we talk about Usher on roller skates?
Oh, no. See, here's the thing.
Man, I was like, what?
Oh, no. See, it made sense to me. Okay. If you grew up during that era, if you grew up in a black neighborhood and you're, on the weekends, you go to the skating arena and you throw the skates on and you're listening to the hip hop and the R&B as you're going around the roller ring, and that's a very popular thing. So it totally made sense to me.
I didn't.
But I told my wife, who is kind of part of the melanated, not so melanated group, that's not a thing. I have friends on, that are white, black, and everything, and going to the skating ring on the weekends to listen to music and skate around. My white friends didn't do that, but my black friends did. Oh, did you really?
I love roller skating.
See, and listen, I'm one of those people that could not do it. I've gone to the skating arena, but I never put the shoes on. I'm over there to talk to the girls. Hey, how's it going? Nah, I'm not gonna go out there. I'm just gonna kind of hang out here. By the way, can I get your number? Yes.
Tate had game without having to put shoes on and impress people.
Oh, I used to say it's all about the mouthpiece. You had to be able to talk to the girls. So that made sense to me, and he kind of tied that in. So I love that. I liked everything he did, except for I would have liked the scene, like you said, of a Justin Bieber or a Taylor Swift, kind of to hit that pop area. And it would have been, I think, a perfect show.
Yeah. I got to see him with his shirt off. I was happy about that.
I did not see that. Because I was thinking, like, who wants to see Usher with his shirt off?
Lots of people.
See, I'm not the right demographic because I'm like, dude, you go ahead and just switch into your next outfit.
Usher is a very good looking man. And I went out and watched the game with some of my friends, and you could hear like all the women in the bar that I was
really?
at go,
No way. I see. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking this like, come on, dog. What's wrong with you? You put your shirt back on.
No, he knew what he was doing.
Ooh, so yes, he knew what he was doing.
He knew what
then.
he was doing.
Because I'm like, no, my man, no. I was wrong. See, this is why we have faith.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
because
it was
there's
so
a whole
funny.
different demographic over here.
It
I
was
tell her about
funny.
the skating ring. She tells
Yeah.
me about Usher with his shirt off.
My boyfriend was working last night, and he sent me a text after the halftime show was over, and he was like, I hope you had a good time watching Usher take his shirt off. And I was like, I did.
Wow. See, you totally enlightened me on this one. Because I really was like, when he took his shirt off, I'm like, dude, come on, man, what's wrong with you? Just put the shirt back on. Go in the next outfit. But he knew what the heck he was doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
He does.
Okay, I know we're running a little long on this one, but I wanted to add a couple of things. Non-halftime show. Kind of the cause and effect of the Super Bowl. The 49ers are a solid team. But the 49ers next year are going to have to make some tough decisions on a number of their players. And I could see the 49ers taking a step back because they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is getting paid a bag of Skittles, some Pop-Tarts, and 2 Juicy Fruits right now. That's all he's getting paid. Now you're gonna have to pay. They're going to have to negotiate and give him a new contract. I think he made $400,000 this year. I think.
Oh, double.
Now, look that up. I want to know how much he's getting paid right now because, like I said, a bag of Skittles, some Juicy Fruit, a Starburst.
Oh no, he's Brock Purdy right now is at $934,000.
Like I said,
but not what your typical quarterback would be.
Okay, 2 bags of Skittles and 2 Juicy Fruit and some Pop-Tarts. That's what he got paid. You understand? He's going to get his new contract is going to be about $50 million a year. When you say 900,000 or 50, that's what he's going to be. He's going to command $50 million a year. That's what he's going to get. You see what you understand? I know it's hyperbole by saying he's getting paid Skittles and Juicy Fruit. 900,000 is not something to sneeze at. But that's a massive difference between 40 and 50 million a year.
Patrick Mahomes is almost at 60 million. So the fact that Brock Purdy is not even making $1 million a year is
right. You understand? There's a massive difference.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, who is Mr. Irrelevant, is going to get paid, and they're going to have to let some people go. Unlike the Kansas City Chiefs. This is their down year. Do you understand? This is the Kansas City Chiefs' down year. Next year, they're going to get a number 1 or number 2 receiver, which is going to make that team even better. That that defense, all under contract, everyone with very reasonable contracts. Everyone is already signed. They have no salary cap issues and a team that's only going to be better next year. It's crazy, but you could totally see that the Kansas City Chiefs will be favorites to win it all next year. It will be a little tougher for the 49ers depending on what they lose and what they're able to add. Because I could see them more losing than adding. Now you have to pay your quarterback. Kansas City has already paid their quarterback, and the way it's set up, it's kind of a friendly, even though it's a $500 million, it's a team-friendly deal with Patrick Mahomes the way it's set up. It's going to be fascinating what's going to happen in the offseason with Brock Purdy, because I'm telling you right now, Brock Purdy would be a fool I'm not showing up to training camp without a brand new contract if I'm Brock Purdy. There's no way. I want a new contract or I'm sitting out.
Yeah.
You got to strike while the iron's hot. And if you're making 900,000 when you could be making 50 million, oh no. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, honestly, I was pretty surprised finding out his salary. I was like, gosh. I was like, hey, that's a very low-paid quarterback in the
Do you
NFL.
understand? The punter and kicker are making more than that.
That's insane. That's crazy.
There are guys that didn't play at all this year got paid more than that. That's what I mean. If I'm Brock Purdy, I'm like, I'm not playing on no franchise tag. I'm not playing on anything except for a huge signing bonus. I want a 40, 50, 60 million dollar signing bonus, and I want 40, 50 million a year. He's gonna, when you look at signing bonus, everything, that's $100 million come up there. That's a big, that now you understand why I said Skittles and Starburst.
Yeah.
When you're looking.
Yeah.
So he's gonna, you're looking at, let's say it's a 5-year deal. At 50 million, that's a $250 to $300 million contract with another 50 to 70 million in signing bonus that that's the minimum that it's going to be for him.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Big difference. All right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be discussing ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers teaming up to create a new sports streaming service.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier we were discussing Super Bowl 58, and now we're going to be diving into ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers teaming up to create a new sports streaming service. So I think it was it last week that we were talking about how
I believe on Friday.
How what's his name?
Roger Goodell.
Yeah, Goodell.
See, I'm there for you. We're connected.
How Roger Goodell was basically saying, like, no, we're not going to exclusively stream the Super Bowl. We're going to put it on broadcast television as well. And now it seems like that may change.
And see, and I don't think the NFL had any clue that this deal was coming out here. This was because these networks already have the contracts. So I don't want to jump ahead of you, but when Roger Goodell made that statement, I don't think he knew about this. Do you have more to say about this, or you want me to dive in there?
So ESPN, Fox Corporation, and Warner Brothers Discovery said on Tuesday they will be joining forces to launch a streaming sports service. The platform will include offerings from at least 15 networks and all 4 major professional sports leagues. The paid service is scheduled to debut this fall via a new app, although subscribers will be able to bundle it with Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max, according to a statement from Warner Brothers. Each company will own a 1/3 stake in the joint venture. The plan came amid increased competition in the business of streaming sporting events, with industry giants including Amazon and Netflix recently striking deals to add sports content for their streaming customers. In announcing the new venture, Walt Disney owned ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers said the new platform will provide access to thousands of high-profile sporting events, from NFL games to Formula One racing. The platform will include games from the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, WNBA, NASCAR, and college sports, including the men's and women's NCAA tournament, as well as golf, tennis, and the FIFA World Cup. So.
Okay, now, this is huge. Mm-hmm. When I saw this, I'm like, they got my money.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know what they're charging yet. Mm-hmm. If it's $10 a month, if you can do $20 a month. Right. 30, 40, $50 a month, I'm paying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth. I'm going to pay it. If you're a sports fan, this is what every sports fan, since the whole cord cutting thing has happened, we have always wanted this.
Yeah.
The college football fan. Okay. Who has the SEC? ESPN. Who has the Big Ten? Fox. Now, and it's like, man, I got to go over here for this, got to go over here. Now, the Big Ten, the SEC, they're together on one app. So you can watch your football games, college football. That's going to be it. Also, they both have you also have the Big 12 and the ACC. So this is huge. Those big deals are all together. You have the NFL, one app that you can get your NFL games. ESPN has the UFC. Now I can get my UFC on there. If you're a golf guy, this is the ultimate place for, if you're a sports fan, this is where everyone's gonna go. Now you go back to Roger Goodell saying, I don't see, like, not in his tenure.
Yeah.
There's going to be some hustling backwards here, because it's just a matter of time before this app, which has the major sports power brokers all on one app, saying, okay, now you could put the Super Bowl on this app. You could put the Super Bowl on this app and everyone would be happy. This is like the perfect situation. I thought it was quite ingenious what they've done. They just divided it up evenly. Now, everyone still has their contracts. All these contracts are still different. The Big Ten is on Fox. The SEC is on ESPN, using those two as an example, because those are the big monsters in college football. But they still have their contracts, but they'll still be able to run their commercials and run their shows and everything just like they did, except for they'll be on their regular programs, but they will also be on the app. They'll get the commercial revenue. They'll still be getting their extra revenue plus an extra scoop of ice cream, a little extra sprinkles on top, because they'll get the app money, the ad money. They'll get it all, but still work together. It's kind of like they just all came together. And with this, this is the death of cable television.
Yeah.
Because cable television is only surviving off of news and sports. This program here makes it. Why do you need cable television ever again?
And with sports already coming into the streaming service, the news side of things is looking into doing things on apps as well now, instead of doing cable TV.
No, cable. I forget how many. It was like over 6 million people just last year was like, nope, we're done. That, like, every year is 5-10 million people are like, nope, I don't need cable anymore.
Yeah.
But the number one reason why when you look at reasons, either you're older and this is the way it's always been done and this is what you're used to. But I watch a number of different sports outlets, and I was watching YouTube and watching a number of them sports outlets. And a lot of these guys were saying the same thing. The only reason why they have cable television is because they have to catch their games. They want their football on Sunday. They have to catch their ESPN. Saturdays, they have to watch their college football. They have to watch the Masters and everything. And it's like, now, no, I don't. If you're a sports bar, you have to have a cable bill. You have to have these cable bills, which, you have 200 channels. If you're a sports bar, you don't give a crap about those channels. You don't care that the Gilmore Girls are on USA Network. You want to get your ESPN and you want to get your sports. Now, if you have a sports bar, you just got to have the app. We have the app. We have all the sports we need. You want to come here and you want to watch the UFC? Great. You want to watch college football? Great. You want to watch the NFL, Major League Baseball? We have it. Hey, you want to watch Formula One? We have it now on one app.
Yeah.
Cancel it. That is the absolute last dagger in the cable network's heart right there. They're done.
Yeah. I definitely saw this coming. But after Goodell's statement, I thought it would be at least, like a couple more years before it happened. And then right after he did his whole press conference, this comes out. And I don't think it's going to be super pricey, because if you can bundle it with other stuff, because I already have like Disney and Hulu bundle, and I don't think it's more than like $15 a month.
But there's a big difference between, Hulu and Disney Plus. Yes, Disney is super popular, and you want to get your Mandalorian, and you want to get this, and that, then the NFL. That's $1 billion. That's that's multi-billion-dollar contracts a year. The SEC, that's a $1 billion plus deal on ESPN. The Big Ten, that's multi-billion-dollar contract there. These are massive contracts that they have to get these programs. But you're going to put it all in one. I'm going to say between 25 and 50.
Yeah, I don't think it would be more than 25, because if they're going to keep ads on the app as well, that's paying for part of it. So, because that's why like Hulu is still on the cheaper side, because you can have Hulu with ads and it's cheaper without ads. So if they're keeping ads on it, I don't see it being more than $25, but they may offer a thing where you can do it without ads. I don't know if that would be possible, but if they offer it without ads, I feel like it would be like $30 to $40.
See, I'm looking at the 25 to 50, and I'm gonna pay it.
I am too. Do you know how hard of a time I have trying to find Georgia football games every time I want to watch them when I'm at home? Like, I have to.
The SEC network's part of it. The Big Ten network's going to be a part of it. Every SEC game is going to be on there. When you think about the fact that they'll have the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, and the SEC, there's not a Georgia game you're going to miss. There's not an Alabama game, an Ohio State, a Michigan game that will be missed on this app. It's just a win for for everyone involved.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder when this will be coming out, though. I don't think
they haven't announced when. They just kind of said a ballpark. It'll be coming this spring, summer. Guaranteed it will be sometime this summer. They're not going to miss college football. Yeah. They're not going to miss the NFL. Do you know how many people are going to sign up once the college football season starts? Then the NFL season starts. Like we were talking about the streaming for that Kansas City playoff game that was on Peacock. 22 million people watched it on Peacock. Yeah. This NFL kickoff, if 22 million people signed up on Peacock to watch one game, what are they going to do when everything is there? Yeah. I feel like if they could get it done before March Madness, they can make a lot of money. Oh, shoot. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yes. March Madness is huge. March Madness. So I'm wondering. And with them announcing it. March Madness is in a couple of weeks. Yeah. That may be too fast. I don't see that would be, and you cannot half launch this thing. You cannot rush this. It would be worth it to skip March Madness and the start of Major League Baseball, which starts in a few weeks as well. Spring training starts, because you want to make sure you have college football and the NFL. Because, let's say you do March Madness, you rush it out, and there's glitches and there's all this problem. You have all these people canceling. The reputation comes out bad. That's a disaster. They're going to want it perfect for the NFL.
Well, I guess we'll see. And I tell you what, if it's here before college football starts, I will be paying however much a month for it.
You know what I don't like about you, Faith? Here's something I don't like about you. I'm gonna give something I don't like. You're gonna make me watch way more Georgia games than I really need to.
I sure am.
Because you're my girl, I'm gonna want to talk to you about Georgia. And Georgia is stacked this year.
Go Dogs.
And so I'm gonna be, I'm always watch my Miami Hurricanes and my Michigan Wolverines. I'm always gonna watch those guys. Since Dion's in Colorado, I'm gonna watch every Colorado game. Georgia, Georgia or Ohio State. I'm gonna be watching a lot of those games as well. We're gonna cover a lot of college football this year.
That'll be my favorite part. I love college football.
I know you do.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive into our oddities of the day. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers teaming up to create a new sports streaming service. And now, as always, at the end of the show, we dive into our oddities of the day.
Right. This is the show. This is the show candy for me here.
Show candy. Alrighty, so Burger King is offering a chance to win $1 million prize if customers can create the next successful Whopper idea.
Okay.
On February 5th, the fast food chain announced the $1 Million Whopper contest, which asks fans to submit the ingredients in their ideal Whopper for the chance to win $1 million and have their creations sold in stores nationwide for a limited time. The flame-grilled Whopper currently offers more than 200,000 possible customized combinations, but if you've ever wanted to top the flavorful burger with savory sensations or sweet and sour showstoppers, then your moment to shine has officially arrived. This is what Burger King wrote in a press release. All right, here's how the contest works. You can visit Burger King $1 Million Whopper page or the BK app to create and submit your creation now through March 17th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time using your Royal Perks account. You must be a Royal Perks member to enter. Follow the prompts to submit your Whopper sandwich concept, which can create between 3 and 8 toppings. After submitting your $1 Million Whopper idea contest entry via a snazzy text-based module, an image of your completed concept will be generated by artificial intelligence. intelligence. After previewing, you may add a personalized AI-generated jingle as well as a thematic background. The final image or video of your Whopper can then be downloaded and shared across social media platforms. You can submit up to 3 contest entries.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to give you my pitch while you're doing this. I'm going to give you my pitch of my
your
my
burger,
new Whopper.
your Whopper.
Yes. I'm going to call it the 3-piece hot and spicy. Okay. It's going to have a Whopper patty, then the fish the BK Whaler, and then I'm going to put chicken on top of that.
That sounds disgusting. That sounds disgusting.
I'm gonna have a hot and spicy sauce on it. It's gonna be, like you have a little bit. You get a little bit of the best of everything from Burger King. The chicken, the fish, and the beef, all on a hot and spicy with a hot and spicy sauce. And then that old black bun. Remember that one burger, the Burger King bun? They had the jet black bun. I'm putting that on there. You didn't see the one? Pull up Burger King and say black bun. Be careful what you put on, how you type that in. I just kind of warning the system before you start typing in black buns in there. We're talking Burger King.
Oh, it was like a Halloween thing?
No, it wasn't for Halloween. The black bun was for some sandwich they had.
And this is showing me like a Halloween Whopper.
And they had the jet.
This looks gross. Why would anyone want to eat that?
You know what? I bought it just because I'm like, a black bun. And so I was like, what the heck is this going to taste like? And it was okay. It wasn't horrible or anything.
How many additives were put in that to get the color, though?
See, I didn't ruin you, haven't I?
Yes. Yes, you have.
You were living so nice in your little world, and then you realized that you were eating all this bad food.
Listen,
for you.
I knew Red 40 was in a lot of things, and I know it's bad for you, but I didn't realize how bad a lot of the food is here in the United States.
Yes.
And so,
it
yes,
so
I've been scarred.
So I'm going with my 3-piece hot and spicy sandwich with the chicken, the beef, and the fish, the black bun, a sweet and spicy sauce on top, and some onion rings on top of that.
Then
the black bun.
I know you live in Europe now, but it's like you just can't take the American out of American.
No, you cannot. You
no
cannot.
matter where they live.
Okay, if I'm going
chicken, beef, fish, onion rings.
The deep fried chicken with the deep fried fish, throwing some onion rings on top of that with some sweet and spicy sauce and a black bun, which is crazy to say. That sucker's sure to be banned in Europe. I'm telling you that right now.
See, for me, I just like a good classic cheeseburger. I like my hamburger patty. I like a good American cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickle, ketchup, mustard, and mayo. That's how I like my burger.
Faith, are you looking at me?
Yeah.
You're talking about trying to win $1 million. They're not even going to give you $2 for that sandwich. You're not winning anything.
But I don't want anything else on my burger.
That's the McBoring burger right there.
I don't want to be a poser.
I'm trying like deep fried elbows on there. I'm throwing all kind of stuff on my burger. You're like, I just want a sprig of lettuce, a slice of cheese, and a smattering of mayo.
I'd be okay with adding French fries to my burger, because most of the time when I eat like my burger and fries, I'll like take a bite of my burger and then take a bite of my fries. So just to put it all together, I'd be okay with that.
See, with my burger, that's what I was talking about. I thought about doing fries, but I said no. Burger King has the onion rings. So I went the beef, the chicken, the fish, then the onion rings, then the sauce on their cheese in the middle of all those, and then the big old black bun between there. The Americana. the only in America burger, because that's the only place that sucker's being sold.
Yeah. I don't really like onion rings, so I don't think I would like that. But I also don't like, I refuse to eat like fish from fast food restaurants unless it's like Captain D's. Captain D's, I will eat that. But like,
what is Captain D's? You
don't know Captain D's? Oh, maybe that's
no.
Is that just a southern thing? Captain D's?
Girl, you just went down. You can't count the restaurants that's down the street from you. They only got
Captain
like one
D's
employee.
No, Captain D's is a franchise. It's a fast food place.
They're only in Bucky's restaurant drive-through.
It says they started. It started in Tennessee, so it's kind of like
2 stores.
It's no. It's kind of like Long John Silver's a little bit, but it's fast food.
Okay, Long John Silver's is a slept-on fast food restaurant that's barely hanging on for dear life.
See,
but that was a good place.
We don't have Long John Silver's. We have Captain
Nobody
D's.
has it. They're all out of business. That's why.
We have Captain D's, and I love Captain D's. But that's the only place I'll get fish, like fast food-wise. I will not eat the fish fillet. I will not eat...
Oh, I like the fillet of fish. Oh, yes. No. That steamy bun. And that sounds kind of funny. I did like this too, which I'm like, I'm sorry.
Steamy buns.
I totally did that. I can't even believe I did that. Oh my God. I'm thinking about the filet of fish. You know how they're all steamy and they're soft. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. How did that go down the wrong path? I was thinking all wholesome.
Talking about black buns and steamy buns.
Oh my God. How did you kind of right on that one. I can't handle you today, Faith. This is what happens when you stay up too late.
This is what happens when I don't get my 8 hours of sleep. Yes.
Oh. You also looked at me when we were talking about the Super Bowl, and I told you I watched the game twice. You looked at me like, what's wrong with you?
I barely could watch it once, man.
Yeah, I watched it twice, so. All right. So we have our burger. Mm-hmm. No one's paying you. They're not paying you 20 cents for your burger. That's the burger that's at Jimmy's.
Wait.
Drive-through. Okay, let's get some creativity out here.
Have you ever had fried dill pickles?
Of course.
Fried pickles on a burger?
I'm with you on that one. But
with ranch sauce and like Swiss cheese.
See, now you're thinking. Ooh. Now you're bringing your inner American out. You can't be like a sprig of lettuce. No, you want some deep fried pickles. How about this? Instead of Swiss cheese, just make it fried cheese on top of that.
That's taking it too far. No, I don't want to die of a heart attack while eating my burger.
Okay, one of these days we have to do a road trip. We have to go to the Texas State Fair, watch the Oklahoma-Texas game, and then go to the State Fair. And you see they're doing fried ice cream, fried Oreos. They fry everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they fry. They fry everything too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
fried
you know
Twinkies,
what? That got to be the first cousin to the Texas State Fair and Georgia Fair.
Fried Twinkies, fried Oreos, fried pickles. I think they even fried pizza rolls.
Well, pizza rolls are fried.
They fry them again, though. They're double fried. You got funnel cakes, all of that good fried stuff.
Yeah, see, none of that stuff exists here. Like, you want me? Speaking of food, here's one of the hardest things. We always get on food here. Here's a crazy thing. You can go to the little restaurant or the snack shack shop, and they'll have a croissant. And you can get scrambled eggs, you can get bacon and things like that. And you say, hey, I just want a croissant sandwich with cheese, some bacon, a scrambled egg, and a sausage, and put it all together. They'll look at you like, what are you talking about, weirdo? And no matter, even if you show them a picture of it, they'll be like,
you know what a breakfast sandwich is? That's crazy.
No, that's not a thing. They, so they'll put some cheese in there. They'll put the egg on the side, or they can never get it right. It's just too confusing.
Complicated for them.
Yeah, because it's not something they grew up with. We got
everything that you make and just put it together.
Because they don't have their inner fat kid. That's the problem here. Everybody walks around thin. That's why everyone's on the beach running around in thong bikinis. Some of us Americans, they get fit in those thongs.
No.
Again, that's our theme today. Buns are our theme, I guess, today. That's what we're leaving on that note right there.
Okay, guys. Well, if you want a chance to win $1 million, you can create a Whopper online, and you can do whatever you want. Your craziest American dreams on a Whopper.
Living the dream.
With that, guys, we're going to close out the show. Thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.